From the OUTV Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, California, this is Brief News Brief, a brief look at today's trending news topics, proudly combating the thought police since 2016. Here's your host, James Heaney.
I'm James Heaney, and this is your Brief News Briefing. And today's breaking news is fantastic, unusually different from the typical start of a Brief News Brief show, because the news today is on Kevin Pollak's chat show. He's got a special guest. That guest is me. I am humbled to be on the list of guests that in the past have included Bryan Cranston, Tom Hanks, Larry David, Bob Odenkirk, and now I'm on that list of previous guests. It's a funny show. If you listen to podcasts, or even if you don't, check it out anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you just search Kevin Pollak's chat show, it'll come up. Second piece of breaking news, Gamefront is relaunching on March 11th. It's super exciting. I'm not going to be employed by Gamefront, but I am working with them. I'm going to produce some content for them. I'm really excited. I used to, before I worked for Gamefront, years before it became Gamefront, back when it was Filefront, I used to play Half-Life, and that's where I would get my mods. Particularly, I feel like I remember getting Team Fortress from Filefront. But knowing that they're coming back to me is super exciting news. Yesterday, it seemed as if the circus had come to Newstown, because Sam Nunberg, a grown adult, had a freak out, a breakdown, if you will. He has been subpoenaed by the Robert Mueller investigation to... Oh man, and that's a scary thing for Sam. Oh, snap, buddy. Come on down. You're the next contestant in the Russian scandal investigation. Sam is being subpoenaed, which means by law, he has to hand over any text or email or phone conversation he's had with Trump, Steve Bannon, Rick Gates, Paul Manafort, Corey Lewandowski, Carter Page, Hope Hicks, and more. This is like 10 key players. Well, unfortunately, despite when he went on television and said there was no way he was going to file the subpoena, not going to court, you can't get me to testify in front of a grand jury. Well, I'm sorry, Sam, but that's exactly what you have to do if you don't want to go to jail. He says he would laugh at it if they sent him to jail yesterday. But unfortunately, you can't say that to a federal prosecutor. So after the entire day of making news that he was going to not follow the subpoena, he ended the day negating the whole day's news by saying, maybe I will talk to the Mueller investigation. Maybe I will follow the subpoena. Well, tomorrow's going to be a feast of flesh because the circus left and carnival's in town. If you thought North Korean, South Korean women's hockey team was a big deal, well, then you're in for a treat. North Korean leader Kim Jongun has a new crush on South Korea, and he's flirting with the idea of a unified Korea. South Korea confirmed that the two sides had reached a satisfactory agreement on future talks. Whoa! The delegation is expected to visit Washington later this week to brief U.S. officials on their talks in the North. Well, this is some bizarro world romancing here. I mean, I thought South Korea was with us, like we were, a thing. I thought we were a thing. Do I have reason to feel like they're cheating on America? Okay, South Korea, you had some dinner and talked a little with North Korea, maybe even flirted. Jeez. Is that all? What else did you guys talk about? Tell me, I need to know. 2 people are critically ill in the UK. They've been hospitalized after being exposed to a suspicious substance. It's an unknown substance, but we can at least say it's suspicious, right? One of them is a former Russian military official that was convicted of being a British spy, a man in his 60s. And there was also a woman in her 30s. They were both found unconscious on a shopping center bench in Salisbury, southern England on Monday evening. The man was Sergei Skripal, who was a granted refugee in the UK after a high-profile spy swap between the US and Russia in 2010. The incident has drawn inevitable comparisons to the poisoning of former Russian spy Alexander Levitko, who died a slow death after meeting a contact at a London sushi restaurant in 2006. Meet Flippy the robot. He's a meat flipper. Burger flipping jobs are out. So Bob's Burgers, if you want to stay open, you better get yourself a Flippy the robot because you're not going to be able to compete in the new age. Flippy can cook 150 burgers per hour. He works in Pasadena, California at Cali Burger, working the lunchtime shift. But the good news is if you're too scared to completely immerse into the robot world, don't worry, our robot friends are slowly warming the water so that we don't feel it when it boils. This robot, Flippy, still needs a fleshy one to help him out. The human will bring over the patties and place them on the grill. But once the patties are on the grill, Flippy can rotate through spatulas for raw meat and cooked meat to prevent cross-contamination, clean those spatulas while the burgers are cooking, and use a scraper to keep the grill in good shape. Yikes! Talk about a triple threat, right? Studies show that as much as 40% of the U.S. workforce could see those jobs absorbed by technology as early as the 2030s. This robot was customized for Cali Burger Kitchen. Now, it's exclusive there for 6 weeks. 6 months. But still, what's the difference in the big scheme of time? After that 6 months are up, Flippy's going to sell for $60,000 to other fast food vendors. Now, if you think about it, an espresso machine can run $60,000. And if you're talking about the money that fast food places have, I can't picture a world where this guy isn't in every single McDonald's at every single city around the country. I don't see it.